What's going on, guys? I'm reporting from my home office for right now till our new office and studio gets built out. But look, today I want to do a video on a topic that I don't think anybody's talking about. Well, they're talking about the Tory Lanez NFT, but I want to talk about things that nobody is talking about when it comes to that NFT sale. Because a lot of people on the internet are hyping this up so much that he made so much money in just 1 hour, that he sold 1 million copies of his album for $1. He made $1 million in 1 hour, that people are getting rich off of this because they're selling it for $50,000 a copy and things like that. But let's really break down the reality of what's going on behind this NFT project. Because look, I strongly believe that NFTs are here to stay. The underlying technology of NFTs is crazy, and it's gonna, be a great sales tool, a great distribution channel, a great way to secure intellectual property when it comes to art, just anything, digitally. But let's look at some of these NFT projects that like Tory Lanez put out, which I purchased 10 of these albums. And Eminem put out an NFT, which I purchased as well. So, the way I'm seeing it as a consumer and as an investor behind this is not as peachy as some of the videos you're seeing on YouTube and Instagram, how this was the greatest move made by Tory Lanez because he's now independent and so many people getting rich off of it, because it's not really the case. I want to sort of break it down and tell you how I went about buying it and what is it going for right now. Is it even selling on the secondary market, right? Because I also bought the Eminem NFT, and maybe for 2 days, 3 days after it sold, I could have maybe made some money back, but now I'm definitely in the red. It's a losing money situation. So let's first talk about the fact that he put out 1 million copies. So it's not as unique, right? There is a lot of truth to the fact that you can sort of sell an art piece, kind of like a collectible piece, through an NFT in a digital form. But let's face it, if it's going to be a collectible, putting out 1 million versions of it doesn't make it that much, rare. It's not that collectible. So outside of people wanting to buy the NFT just to listen to it as an album, I'm not really sure how many people are going to hold on to it as a collectible or even resell it for high prices, because that's not really what's going on here. And I'm going to get to my screen in a second. But look, in my opinion, Tory Lanez could have made $1 million just by doing a concert for an hour. He could easily pack out a venue of 50, 70,000 people, and he could probably make more than $1 million off of that, because he's got that notoriety, he's got that brand out there, right? Because people are saying, well, it's so great because he's independent, he's taking advantage of this technology. Yes, he took advantage of it to sell 1 million records, but let's go see what it does really for the consumer and how you guys should navigate this. Because if you go on ENFT, which you can see right here on my screen, which is the website where this thing sold through, and you go to their marketplace, which right now, this is the only thing that's on their marketplace. I don't see anything else. Let me just make sure that's the case. Let's go to the marketplace and let's go view all. But you see, the only thing available for purchase is pretty much the Tory Lanez album, right? So then if we go to price high to low, you will see, all the hype that people are talking about on the internet, that people are selling it for, what is this? That's crazy. That's $10 million. I'm sorry, $100 million, damn near $99 million. And what I'm saying, just crazy prices. People selling that apparently for 50,000, 30,000, whatever. That's not what's going on. Why? Because I can show you what I listed it for. But let's just go to low to high real quick, because people are not even buying this thing for $2. Right, this thing, 0 days left, time remaining. Like this, I was watching it, looking at this one. This was on for like 4 days. This is $215, $220. People are not even buying it for $2. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact, because if you go to mine, let's go to my account, and you see that I purchased 10 of these. As you see here, all these are listed. I listed mine for $75, $35, $25, $10, $250, and even $2, just to see. Let me see, is this one the $2? This is the $250 one, right? Nothing. And it's not going to sell, I don't think. And here's why. Again, it's 1 million copies. I'm not going to go on the torrent website on this computer because I don't want to, get pop-ups and malware on here. But if you go on a torrent computer, which I did check a week ago, this thing is all over the place. So if you really wanted to listen to it, and since you can't get it on, Spotify, Apple Music, you can get it all over torrent sites. I bet you this thing is on SoundCloud as well. So the point I'm trying to make is that Tory Lanez was smart for doing this, for getting his feet wet with the technology, whatever, but it's not really that beneficial for the consumer because there's so many copies of this, if you see what I'm saying. Now, if there was 10 of these, that's a whole different story. I think would have a lot of potential to sell that in the secondary market and, you know, make some money off of it. Selling $1 million, that was just a good move for him, not really for the consumer. And it's a great move for him because of PR. Now he's all over the news talking about it. But if you look at what they're saying, it's like, yeah, I made $1 million in an hour. Come on, let's be real. Somebody had to make those songs. It didn't take an hour to make those 7 songs he put out, which I'm a fan of Tory Lanez. They were not that great. Some of them were like, had a whole 2 minutes left of the instrumental going after the first verse, whatever. It seemed like it was an open for a feature, whatever. He just put it out. Look, it's a clever thing. I encourage any artist that's on Tory Lanez level to be able to do this. I'm just telling you guys how this is for the consumer. Same thing with the Eminem NFT. You know what I'm saying? I still have the copy. I bought it for $300, some action figure that moves. And like I said, for the first 24 hours to 72 hours, I might have been able to sell it for maybe like $400, $380. But after the fees, I probably would have made like 15 bucks. Now the thing is worth like 125. That's what they're going for. That's what they're selling for. So this is some of the things that people are not talking about, you know. And let's also be real that this platform, E-NFT, which I believe is co-owned by Flowrider, shout out to him and, you know, the fact that he's getting in the technology space, but this had to be promoted. And since there's nothing else on this, you know, on this NFT platform yet, that was a great promotional tool for this platform. Hopefully there's going to be more stuff on here. But for all we know, Tory Lanez could have got paid $2 million by the company E-NFT for advertising this. He might have not made anything off the actual, you know, sales of the NFTs. They may have gone to the platform so they can test out their payment system and all of that, and, you know, tracking everything through NFTs and the smart contracts that are in behind it. Who knows? All I'm saying is that this was a great move by Tory Lanez, but it's not a great investment tool for the consumer, at least not in the short term. You know, if these things are still around in 10 years and Tory Lanez has a great brand in 10 years and he's one of the top artists, maybe you know, maybe we'll sell these things for $5 a piece. So if you bought 10 of them like me for $10, you make like 50 out of it at the end of the day. So again, there's nothing you're gonna get rich off of, and you just need to watch out for these things because a lot of the artists that do have this sort of status, popularity, can sell these things for high amounts of money the first time. But, you know, in the secondary consumer market, it's yet to be seen how these things are going to perform. But like I said, I believe that NFT as the infrastructure, as the technology is here to stay. And, you know, it may actually be better for up and coming artists to utilize an NFT album so they can become sort of a part of the NFT networks, get on different Discords, make friends there, and maybe a few people, just because everybody's immersed in that like conversation of NFTs and the technology and cryptos, maybe a bunch of people will buy the NFT just to support the movement, you know what I'm saying? And it'll give some, you know, initial good like kind of ground for the independent artists in the beginning stages to sort of play around with this technology. And if they only put out, let's say you're an independent artist now, and you put out like 10 copies or something, 100 copies or something of your early mixtape, of your early album, and one day you are going to be an A-listing artist or A-list artist. That's, imagine if Taylor Swift or Drake, when he was coming up and he had mixtapes that, you know, sort of never made the limelight, if you could buy those now as NFTs, those will go for a lot of money, right? So I don't discourage any artist to get on this. If you're independent, go ahead, create a small NFT album or a project or a single. But another thing I wanted to talk about, if Tory Lanez or any A-list artist does this, if this had a utility behind that NFT, like for example, if I would have bought one of these, I also would have gotten a 50% discount on the next touring ticket, or maybe even if you bought 10 of these albums, you get a free ticket to his next show. Because you can attach all these, you know, physical things to that NFT. That would have been great, but he didn't do that. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what's going on, and basically for you guys to understand that be careful as an investor. You know, if you're a true fan of Tory Lanez, get one. It was $1. Who cares? Even if it was $100, you'll probably buy 2 hoodies from him when you go to see him at a concert for $100. So if you want the memorabilia, or if you want to be able to say, I got this, when Tory Lanez put out his unreleased album that was never released, boom, go ahead and do it. But don't expect to sell it for $1 million, at least not anytime soon. I'm going to end with that. If you guys want to know what me and my team do and how we can help you, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you hit the link in the bio. When you do, check out the Indie Artist Accelerator, because this is where we talk about topics like these all the time. Breaking down in detail is where we teach you strategies on how to get your brand to the next level, all the blueprints that you need to know. Also, check me out weekly on Twitch with Clinton Sparks on his show, Win Big with Clinton Sparks. I'm going to be in New York all this week for Fashion Week. And if If you're following me on YouTube or watching this stuff on YouTube, I appreciate you guys. Please hit that like button or comment on this video, or subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that notification icon. But if you help me support this video that way, it'll get it in front of other artists, producers, DJs, or any other investor that should have this realistic information and you know what I'm saying, review of what is going on with the Tory Lanez NFT, and just to learn extra knowledge. So thank you guys for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video as always. Till then, peace.